Hello, this is Morgan Friedman, live and direct from Columbus, Ohio, here to bring you the King Kaleb podcast. Hide your white women and buckle up.
I was born like this, it's born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, wish out you a new weapon. I don't contemplate.
Hello, everybody. I forgot how to do this shit. What is it? Welcome, everybody, back. Long-awaited return of the greatest show to ever be made. The King Kaleb podcast, episode 35. As always. Well, not as always, but as usual, I am your host, King motherfucking Kaleb, light skin, living lavish, cute as shit, don't need no practice. Hide your wives, hide your white women. Back. Finally. Months. Years, millenniums. Absence. It's been a month and a week, I think. April 6th. The last episode was after March Madness, which was like in April. March Madness ends in April. Look at that. But we are back at it again. There's been Trump bombings. There's been the draft. There's been all this madness, wild shit to talk about. Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, you name it. Marshawn Lynch back, Cutler retiring. What else? What else has there been? Phones. No. The phone battering thing. I don't know. That might have been before. But a lot of shit that we can talk about that I still will not remember. I finally got a job. That's another thing. A job. I told you I'd bring new jobs. Look at them. The light skin. He got off his lazy ass. He got a job. Boom. Look at that. Wild, wild shit here in the life of Kaleb. I'm gonna rant later. But the month in review. What have I been doing? Like I said, I got a job. But before that, usual, lazy as fuck on my ass, chilling, relaxing, shooting some b-ball upside, Fresh Prince of Columbus up in this bitch. Light skin. But, in case you didn't forget, Logic in this bitch with it, the new album. But, that's another thing. Good rap albums have came out. I mean, you heard that Kendrick, obviously. I got royalty and loyalty inside my DNA. Still dripping on thoughts, by the way, in case you didn't realize. But, yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I got a job. Nigga works at Lowe's. Let's build something together. That's just completely out of hand. We'll get into all that wacky shit. But as always, we gotta start with that sports. So far, okay, let's just start with NBA. We've devoured past the first couple rounds so far. We're going into the conference finals as predictive. I'm stuttering. Back in full form, the King Cat podcast, and I'm stuttering my words and shit. The Cavs and Warriors have swept their way to the Interconference Finals. All the hoopla at the end of the season with the Cavs. I mean, they're gonna have struggles in the playoffs, man. I mean, they're just folding at home. They're coasting. They're resting players, and look at them. They're doing as I predicted. Dominating the East. But now, the East is weak when they do it. But yet, you said they're going to struggle. What is the hypocrisy? The hoopla. Wanting to hate on the greatest player of all time, LeBron James. Oh, he's knocking on that door. He is knocking on that door, and all the Jordan worshippers are shivering, are shaking in their boots. They're holding on to the last nutsack hair of Jordan. The fear that LeBron is surpassing him. It's out of hand. He's going to, by the end of these finals, because they're going to the finals. He's going to surpass Jordan in playoff points, so he'll be number 1 all time in points in the playoffs. So yeah, we know that shit is going to happen quite soon, people. rather quickly. It's picking up. So yeah, and we're waiting on the Wizards, Celtics, Rockets, Spurs matchups last night. A thriller in San Antonio. Ginobili's bald and bougie, motherfucker. That was so corny on the jump. It's a basketball show. Basketball show on ESPN. Bald and bougie. Because you get it, because bad and bougie, but L and he's bald. Corny as hell. But yeah, Ginobili with the game-saving block on Harden. They won 110-107. The Wizards, Celtics, I think, are playing tonight. Already did. The series was tied 2-2 last time I checked. But yeah, we gotta. Yeah, it was. But we gotta wait on those series to end up. Even though we know what's gonna happen, it's gonna be the trilogy of Cavs, Warriors. So yeah, the draft happened also, people. It was completely out of hand. The top 10 went as followed. I don't have it on me, it's just on my brain because I'm a fucking nerd. The Browns picked Myles Garrett, DN out of Texas A&M. He should help drastically that D-line because it's fucking atrocious. I don't know how much of an impact him alone will, or any Browns player themselves. They also got Jabril Peppers, the safety out of Michigan, so I can keep cheering against him for his whole career. And David Njoku, tight end from the U. And then they released Gary Barnidge, who was like their best, I wouldn't say best weapon because prior, but like the most reliable receiver they've had for a couple years now. But he's aging, I guess that could be the thing. And they just want to go younger and youther and more athletic. And David's certainly is that, But it's not like Barnidge was some bum or something. Like they just, But yeah, they went from then on. The first pick, it was completely like the rest of the draft was out of hand. It was the most interesting, entertaining draft I've seen. I think my whole life. Just intrigue. The picks were random as hell. Some of them, like with the second pick, the Bears traded about 4 different picks just to move one spot to get Mitchell Trubisky. Where the fuck you want to call him? Quarterback from North Carolina, the guy who played all of 11 games. I never got the hype in this guy. He had all right stats for college, ACC, but I mean, it wasn't mind-blowing. Nothing about his mechanics or anything tells you elite, franchise-changing quarterback. And the thing with the Bears, getting rid of Cutler, and now he don't give a fuck. No one wanted to, either no one wanted to pick his contract up, or he didn't want to go to the teams that were interested. We were hearing about the Jets, 49ers, like the early days, the 49ers before they got Hoyer and them. The Jets, obviously, because he has, offensive whatever the fuck history with a coordinator and shit. Texans, barely any rumblings, but there's some there. But he just, obviously he doesn't have the drive anymore. No team wanted him. Pretty much the Romo shit, minus injuries. And he's going to Fox. But then, they not drafted, but they, signed Mike Glennon from Tampa. They got him a big contract. And then you're going to draft a QB second and trade all these... The Bears are retarded. All these people blaming Cutler. No. Cutler is the least of the problems in fucking Chicago. It's the D-line. It's the stupid-ass GM. That's what it is. The GM that knows incompetent. Don't know shit. Can't build a line. Can't build a defense anymore. This is the same guy, right? That had Urlacher and all them. Tillman and... I don't... Briggs and them. What the fuck? Anyway. And the 49ers weren't even going to draft a quarterback. They didn't draft a quarterback at all. Right? No. The CJ... Blah, 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 CJ from Iowa. But, he's not going to be a starting quarterback. As you see, they weren't going to draft Trubisky. They got Solomon Thomas from Stanford, California guy. He was the top of their board the whole time. They were going to pick him. The Bears are retarded. That's just what that is. But yeah, he's gonna. The 49ers had one of the best drafts. Of the the best draft, one of the best draft classes. I don't know about the best, but we can, in a later date, break apart the whole draft. I mean, we're doing that now, but at least the top 10. And I'll talk about these whack ass teams and how they drafted later. Them, and they also got Reuben Foster at the end of the draft. They traded with the Saints. They're building that defense back up to where it was a couple years ago. To when they were at the Super Bowl and always in the the playoffs and that elite level smash mouth 49ers defense. That's when they're at the top. The top of their game. 4th pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Leonard Fournette, running back at LSU. He is like a Jadeveon Clowney for me. He got all this hype. He was always injured in college or didn't want to play, to stay healthy for the draft and shit. So he's either going to be bang or bust for me. I don't know if there's going to be an in-between, if he can just stay all right. He's either going to have to really excel or he's going to be a big disappointment. And, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards the Clowney thing, Is he going to be injury prone? What's he going to do on the field? Because Clowney did have one good year when he's healthy. But, will he be consistently great? And I don't know about that. Not that I want him to fail or anything, but just from what we've seen, history's shown us, With the 5th pick, another shocker. Not really that they picked him, but why or how they picked him this early. Well, I mean, how? They fucking picked him, that's how. But Corey Davis, wide receiver out of Western Michigan, monster career. He has the most receiving yards in NCAA history. Great receiver, good route running. He has some issues with the drop. That's another thing about the draft. The draft, they emphasize any little flaw, just any speck of little flaw in your game. They see you drop like 3 passes. Oh my God, he has the drops. He's an unpolished quarterback. His accuracy's flawed. That's another thing. Every black quarterback that enters the NFL always has mechanic issues. That's the main thing that they say. Terrible mechanics. I mean, the mechanics got to improve. He got to get his 3-step drop. His elbow needs to be this way. He needs to cock the leg. His hand or the ball movement has to be cocked. He looks, reads progressions. He's looking down. He's staring down one receiver. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Why are we? That was the thing with Mahomes that we're going to talk about later. Every nigga apparently has fucked up mechanics. It's so fucking racist. It's not a fan. But yeah, Corey Davis. It's not like we knew the Titans were going to pick a receiver, but just not this early. There was corners like Lattimore, Jamal Adams, safety. People like that. Their biggest priority are needed. Their need for me, and I'm pretty sure everyone else that was analyzing the Titans last year was the secondary. Dear God, they were shit. Abysmal. If they had a good defense, they did somewhat. If they had good corners and Mariota didn't get hurt, they would have been in the playoffs. That's all they needed because they were 9-7 last year. Had one of the better run games. Good young quarterback. Front 4 was all right, tolerable. It was just the pass secondary. Dear God. The pass secondary, the pass defense is just terrible. Almost as terrible. Well, worse than us, but the Steelers are still, dear God, we didn't draft a corner till the 3rd round. What in the fuck? What are we waiting on? And we passed up on. Anyway. Who the fuck was next? Who was 6? Oh yeah, 6 was the Jets. Fucking. That's why you forget about the forgettable ass Jets who don't want to win at all. Their quarterback is Josh McCown, people. But anyway, they picked up a great pick, the safest pick in the draft, ESPN said, and he's going to be a playmaker and impact player immediately. That is Jamal Adams, the aforementioned Jamal Adams, safety out of LSU. I really love his game. He's probably the most balanced safety in the league, in the draft. That's come from Ohio State fan, no but Hooker. Great tackler, good cover guy. That's what you need nowadays, especially in this pass offense. You need a pass offense. This passing league in the NFL, you need a safe. You need motherfuckers who can tackle, especially in the open field. He could do that. Good good secondary cover guy, which is another thing. You don't just be clueless Mike Mitchell, unaware of fucking Did I mention the Steelers secondary's ass? Okay. So yeah, we got Jamal Adams to the New York Jets, the New Jersey Jets. That's another thing I don't get. The Giants and Jets have never once played in the state of New York ever, but yet they're called East Rutherford, New Jersey. That's where they play at. I know it's petty as fuck, but. Number 7, speaking of teams that don't actually play in the city that they play in, the Los Angeles Chargers. They're going to be playing Carson, California, which I know is somewhat near LA, but it's not really like Njoku. David Njoku, that name. Anyway, I'm looking at this draft and shit. Yeah, they got Mike Williams, the Chargers did. Wide receiver out of Clemson, the best receiver to me in the draft. Even Corey Day, it's very close between Corey and Williams. So once again, overall, if you really think about it, he's, athletic, speed guy, is good jumping ability, good hands, reliable hands, can go up there and get it. So that's a good pick for them. Keenan Allen is always fucking dead, and Gates is always hurt once again because he's old, but Allen is just dead all the time because, I don't know why, but it's a good pick. I don't know. The Chargers, I don't think they did enough to help. The defense is mainly the problem. Who the fuck is their running back? Melvin Gordon. Yeah, he's good now, but I don't know. The line could get better, and the defense could get a lot better. I don't know. They're just in a division where there's just too much talent around. They can't really win shit. But the Carolina Panthers select Christian McCaffrey, running back extraordinaire out of Stanford. A very good pick, great playmaker. He's going to do a lot of shit, kick returner, receiver, you name it. I like how in the beginning of the draft, people were, what the hell? Look at that. Patriots signed twins to undrafted free agent deals. New England Patriots signed twin brothers Cody and Jacob Hollister to undrafted. Are they both tight ends or one's a receiver? I know Jacob Hollister's from Wyoming, tight end. The only reason why I know that's because I played college football with Wyoming, just because they're just such a random team. But they're getting a lot of talent, and next year they're already projecting like Josh Allen, their quarterback, to be a first round pick with Sam Darnold and all those other motherfuckers. It's going to be a great draft 2019 for quarterbacks. That's why everyone is going to tank this year. They're not drafting these quarterbacks. But yeah. Anyway, back to McCaffrey. They were all talking about how because he's white, people are not taking him seriously enough and shit. This dude got picked 8th. Did you want him to be number 1 overall? He's the 8th pick in the draft. And then if you look at a guy who has the same skill set, if not more athletic and a playmaker than him, Curtis Samuel, the Ohio State, who the Cardinals, who the Panthers selected in the second round, pretty much the same type of player, 2 completely different rounds. What are y'all motherfuckers talking about? I don't get it. Number 9, though, Rondo and this bitch, the Cincinnati Bengals selected John Ross, the speedster receiver out of Washington. Very good pick once again for Cincinnati. They're going to be shitting on our corners once again. This is why we need corners, because these receivers, he's just going to burn Cockrell in the whack-ass corners we have. Yeah, very good receiver. He has that torn calf or little injury, whatever the fuck happened to his leg, my leg, whatever happened to him. But I think he'll be good and clear for the season. What else was here? Number 10, here we go, with the Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, light-skinned, living lavish, mixed niggas, representing, going to the Chiefs. The Chiefs, of course, traded up with the Buffalo Bills, who got Tre'Davious White, corner, which they needed very dearly. But the Chiefs getting Mahomes is very interesting, because you would think Smith has at least, 4 years left in him. But, once again, this draft, any flaw, terrible mechanics, he's going to be developed. All these guys are going to be developed. They're going to be sat on the bench for a couple years so they can get the playbook, they can get the scheme right. Okay, I don't. What's all the hoopla? My nigga Marshawn Lattimore, corner, went to the Saints. Talk about, once again, the Saints, the past like 4 years, this has been the worst defense I've seen in my fucking life. Ever. Like, just the worst defense ever. Just on the standpoint of, like, they're supposed to be professionals, they're getting paid, they're supposed to be, high-ranked talent, and they just continuously get shitted on. Consistently. It's terrible. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? After my nigga but he's gonna impact that team great to something hopefully respectable to fucking look at, because, dear God. That shit is atrocious. The Saints defense might be atrocious, but you know what's not? Top ramen. You can get great quality Maruchan ramen in many flavors. We've got picante, shrimp, chicken, beef, chili, you name it. You thought I would be slipping because I haven't done this in a month. No, motherfucker. Maruchan ramen when you're broke as shit. Real niggas need it. Yeah, after the Saints, we got the Texans. We're just speed past the whole first round. Give little thoughts here and there, a little dabble. Deshaun Watson to the Texans, great pick for them. He's gonna be there. He should start right now. Fuck all this waiting shit. He's the best quarterback in this draft. Most accomplished, winning. He has a lot of picks. Come on now, his high. He's like low key. He's Eli Manning. If you really think about it. He might have a lot of mistakes. A mobile black Eli Manning. That's, a good arm, accuracies here and there. But when it stepped up to the plate, the big time moments, big time players make big time plays in big time games. Santana Moss. And he excels in the highest of orders. You know what I'm saying? The highest, the most high pressure games, he excels. So, what the fuck are y'all talking about? He's already the Texans' best quarterback ever, I'm going to predict right now. Because who the fuck is he competing with? Matt Schaub, David Carr, like... No. Schaub was alright. Carr was, and, all these other miscellaneous people. Hoyer, Osweiler, Brandon Whedon, Savage, Fitzpatrick, Ryan Mallett. Like, come on now. Alright, we're just going to go past these. Cardinals got Reddick, just boost up that defense even more. Eagles got Barnett, once again, boosting up the D-line. It's already a good D-line already. That's going to be a good one. The Colts, once again, the highlight of the draft was, secondary people. They were the most ever, like 185 safeties. It was like 70 for like 68, some shit around there. But Hooker, once again, Buckeye born and bred, the best cover guy in the whole draft, safety-wise, obviously. He's going to help that Colts defense immediately. And then once again, we go back to the corners. Ravens getting Humphrey, once again, helping that defense. The Ravens defense that we all know, Redskins getting Jonathan Allen, who slipped amazingly all the way down to 17. Everyone was saying he was a top 5 pick. But, and once again, another need. This whole draft was very good so far. I don't know how many busts there are going to be in this draft. You got the Titans picking Adoree Jackson. Once again, another great corner that they need. The Buccaneers getting another great weapon for Jameis Winston, O.J. Howard. He's just the best athletic tight end in a couple of years we've seen come out. Garrett Boyles, believe it or not, people, Garrett Boyles is the first tackle to come out. Maybe that's why this draft's been interesting, because, the past, 10, 15 years, top 10 picks, a lot of them are fucking O-linemen, and it's, boring as shit. Even though you really need them, but, let's be honest, no one's ever looking for the O-line, just block, big ugly, just do your job, and no one cares. They don't get the recognition, but, that's what it is. Garrett Boyles is at, Utah? Yeah. Jared Davis, linebacker out of Florida, going to the Lions, once again, just helping that defense. Speaking of defense, Charles Harris, outside linebacker out of Missouri, going to the Dolphins, getting that pass rush. Just continuing to get that shit for the Miami Dolphins. The G-Men, Evan Ingram, once again, another athletic tight end. He might be as athletic as O.J. Howard. And for real, he's just a receiver. He's like Jimmy Graham, really. But, more of a body, he's 6'5", 220. He's, not really a tight end body built. 4'4", 40. Come on now. And once again, mixed niggas represent. Light skin living too lavish on these hoes. Yeah, 6'3". He's only an inch taller than me. 6'3", 234. This nigga, they just got a receiver, bro. That's all it is. Eli Manning's about to throw for 6,000 yards and shit. Getting Brandon Marshall and shit. Having Odell on them hoes and shit. Let's see here. And another great pick, a corner, my nigga Garyon Conley, lockdown Buckeye corner. He low-key might be better than Lattimore for me. You know, seeing both of their games, or all their games, you know, Lattimore might be more athletic, but when you think of, like, skill set and, like, the IQ of it, the technique, definitely Conley has more technique than Lattimore. And you know, once again, these thoughts trying to ruin my nigga's career, saying that he raped her and shit. Like, stop, bitch. How coincidental that it's near the draft that this story fucking happens, you know? These I know you guys haven't heard in a while, but these whoas trying to ruin niggas' careers, man. It's sad. It's sad as fuck. If the volume just got loud, that's because I went back to the kitchen. I was on the computer and shit, scrolling. And, you know, people are sleeping at my house, so I don't want to be loud as shit, you know, because, you know, waking people up. They got work and school in the morning and shit. But yeah, come on now. The girl who screamed rape. This happens. Shit happens all the time, you know. No files have been charged, and you know, Conley's talking about he'll get blood tests, eye samples, jizz samples, anything to prove his innocence. And ever since then, we've heard nothing about it. So once again, just thoughts trying to ruin niggas' lives. Trying to get some money out of it. You dumb hoes. Speaking of dumb hoes, the Cleveland Browns, like I said, 25th. I mean, the Browns are hoes, but Jabril are dumb. Getting Jabril Peppers out of Biachigan, you know, great athlete, but I don't know how good he's going to develop in the Cleveland system, mostly because it's Cleveland. It's nothing wrong with him, it's just the Browns. They're just terrible, and like I said, with Njoku and Garrett, everyone they picked, even they got Deshaun Kaiser second round. I don't know how good. They all have talent, but how good are they really going to develop in that toxic environment that is the Cleveland Browns? It's out of hand, man. The Falcons traded up a little bit to get Takaris McKinley, D-end, outside linebacker. He's probably going to be primarily a D-end for them. Out of UCLA. This nigga was a complete fool, man. He got a picture of his grandma, who died RIP, but this nigga was acting so fucking hood. So ignorant, straight old nigga like. It was funny as fuck. You know, for his moms and shit, grandma. He's like, this is for me. This is why I did it. This is why I did it. For her. Fuck. That's why I fucking did this shit. There was an interview. NFL Network, you know, Dion always interviews the people. ESPN cut quickly off him, right to the next person. But, you know... Dion had to talk to him and shit, and he was just going out so nigga like. He already got fined and shit, you know, Goodell's racist ass. I don't know if he got fined or not, but yeah, it was out of hand. Like I said, Tre'Davious went to the Bills. The Cowboys got Taco Charlton, Dion from Biachigan, and David Njoku. Once again, Browns got 3 fucking picks. They're trading all this shit. My Pittsburgh Steelers select TJ Watt, and at the time, I was like, what? We need a corner. We need a safety. There's too many good secondary people we passed up on. But Watt is a great motor. He has that instinct, the football instinct. Great tackler, great line. He's a good player. He's going to be good. But, you know, and, you know, JJ's little brother. So, you know, they got that little, the Watt has that fire in them. But I wanted a fucking corner, selfishly. 49ers, like I said, got Reuben Foster, and the Saints got Ryan Ramczyk. Big boy, cheese-eating bastard out of Wisconsin. So yeah, there you have it. That was the whole first round. I'm trying to think of some notable. Mr. Irrelevant, by the way, was Chad Kelly out of Ole Miss, and of course he had issues off the field with some nonsense. And yeah, Kaiser, like I said, went to the Browns. The Steelers, we drafted Dobbs 5th round, like 4th round. He's not, I don't know, man. I don't see him being a starter in this league, and I especially don't see him being the, you know, the next guy after Ben. So we might have to draft another guy next year or the coming 4 years, because I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. D.D. Westbrook went to the Jags, you know, the Heisman finalist at Oklahoma. He had some weird off the field issues during the draft or some shit. Like during an interview, some shit went at fuck around. I don't know, man. I don't know. Dalvin Cook was another going. He went to the Minnesota Vikings in the second round. He plummeted that much. For me, he was the best running back in the draft. Low key, him and low key, Mr. Literally hide your white women because we punching these motherfuckers out the fucking door. Joe Mixon to the Bengals. That's a great pick. I don't care what y'all think about him. He's an athlete, premier athlete. But I don't get why the Bengals did it, though. Because they got Jeremy Hill and Giovanni Bernard, two running backs who could start anywhere else. So I know Bernard has a little bit of injury history, so they might be thinking of releasing him or some shit. But yeah, the Bengals are just getting firepower, man. Our defense better be stepping up. We also got James Conner, once again, the Pittsburgh Pittsburgh Panther, staying home, cancer survivor. Good moment and all, but, once again, the selfish dick in me says, I don't give a fuck. Is he going to stick a receiver? Is he going to stick AJ Green? So fucked up. We got that Sutton dude out of Tennessee in some corner from Utah. Like, who? Out of the 828 quarterbacks, we got this dude. Giants got Davis Webb out of Cal. Like, he's not about to... I don't see it. Jacob Budd went to the Broncos. It was a pretty fun and interesting draft. That King dude from Washington who fucking... Was it him who tore his ACL, went to the Packers, right? I know one other Eagle or Washington corner went to the Eagles, so... Yeah, I think that's who they got. One of them, I don't know. King, Jones, one of them. They're all the same fucking... They're all the same people. I don't... Okay, yeah. I had to look this up because this shit was going to annoy the fuck out of me. But yeah, the Packers is the one who got Kevin King. Yeah. Just to let y'all know. Just to let y'all motherfuckers know, alright? Yeah. Y'all need to be informed, and whenever I'm here, I got y'all, alright? Sidney Jones was the guy was the guy that the Eagles got, and he was the one that, my leg. So, yeah, he's the one that tore his ACL and shit. So yeah, like I said, Kurt Samuel went to the Panthers. I'm trying to just see, like, notable people in the later rounds. It's a pretty stacked draft, man. Raekwon McMillan went to the Dolphins. Juju Smith-Schuster, Juju on that beat. My nigga from USC went to my boys, the Steelers. Once again, just getting that offense. That's what I love. You guys know I'm a receiver guy. I played a little ball in high school. 2 years, not did shit. I don't, who gives a fuck. But I had a bourbon shit. What the fuck? Zay Jones to the Bills, another receiver. Buda Baker, Cardinals. Once again, Washington. Their whole secondary, kind of like us, got drafted. But yeah, it was a fun draft. Very interesting. Good shit. Very intriguing to see what will be happening. But for me, what's happening in your life, Kaleb? Thanks for asking. Like I said, I work at Lowe's. Let's build something together. And, Juju on a beat. What the fuck? Okay, that ignorant shit. Turn that off. Turn that raucous down. Back in my days. Okay. I started working there around the 26th of April. Was my first day there. Like, I did orientation and some other shit days before, and you get paid for that. But like, I think I'm gonna be getting paid this Friday because like 2 actual full weeks of being there, and there's already characters, there's already clowns. I'm already annoyed by the people who ask me shit that I don't know. I don't know any of this shit. I've never. I've been to like Lowe's once or twice, maybe in my life ever. It was for like 30 seconds. Why the hell would y'all think that I know anything? Breaking news, people. Blaine Gabbert to the Cardinals. What? Anyway, why y'all would think I would care or know where any of this shit is? I'm Marshawn Lynch in that bitch. You know I'm here. You know I'm here. I'm here so I won't get fined. I'm here so I can pay the bills. Pay the cable bill and shit. and get some money to do some other shit to not work there anymore. That's my goal. That's my motivation to work, so I won't have to work there again. Get some shit popping, get this podcast popping, like, subscribe, do all that shit, help us out, help a nigga out, so I can not work at Lowe's. But your characters, the weirdos, the motherfucker. Oh my god, I wish I could show you guys the people that come to Lowe's. What in the blue hell is that? That has gone off like twice now. Is it these fucking poor ass tablets my fucking brother has? My brother and his mom, my stepmom, have like these like generic ass Zeke tablets. I don't know if y'all know that shit. It's the cheap ass $40 tablets. Which I guess is a very good deal, because if all you want to do is like little shit like watch like TV and like Netflix and all that shit, powered by Android, and play games and shit, you're not trying to spend $8,000 in your left nutsack to get a fucking iPad. You know how Apple is with their overpriced nonsense. Just no, like me, I'm trying to get a phone. Once again, another thing to get a job, get a phone so I can have obviously better quality, like my old phone did. I don't know why it had a very good mic, but it did. And I'm on a fucking iPod 5, my stepmom's iPod, and this shit for some reason is like low quality, and it's once again sounds more like I'm in the shower. Not as bad as my iPod 4 does, but it's still not that of an improvement, but whatever. I had to give y'all some shit after a month of absence. All three of you people that listen to me, thank you, first of all. And, yeah, I had to do it for the homies. But yeah, the fucking clowns at Lowe's, I've never seen so many lost grown people in my life. Why do you go to a store that you know nothing about? Like, you know nothing going into the store. Like, could you at least research? At least some people call in and be like, hey, do you have this shit? Yes, no, maybe so, uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. Don't give me the phone. They keep giving me the phone. Seasonal, this is useless. Like, no, I'm not. No, I don't know this shit. It's out of hand, man. Out of hand. I need to, live stream my 8 hours. That's another thing. Full time. From never working a day in my life to having a full-time job just like that. I'm just saying. And not complaining about it. Even though they got me working 8 fucking days in a row. No, I can't. I would hope to think. Just let me think that I have a life, alright? I'm off today and tomorrow. Then I work 3 days. Then I'm off for 2 days. Then I'm on again for 8 days. It's just, God. They were giving me hella money. I'm trying to get an iPod, or not iPod, fuck that, a new phone. Either that new Galaxy S Samsung shit, or the LG 6, one of those two I'm thinking of. Why not ball out once you got money? And those are 2 of the 3 best phones on the market, with the iPhone, but fuck Apple. Or at least their phones. I can't fuck with their phones. Everything else, yes. Like, I'm trying to get a Mac Pro, like, laptop to get some shit poppin', mixtape coming soon, and shit like that. This podcast, I could definitely do a better podcast with a tablet of some sorts. Tablet, a laptop, a computer, a more advanced computer. Even we got a Windows 10, or 8, 9, 10, I think it's a 10, where the fuck it is. I'm still trying to figure out all this shit I can do with this podcast. At the end of the day, it's just me randomly talking, spewing words out of my mouth, but I like to put little skits in here and there. Fucking ads that I don't, or fucking sponsors that I don't pay for, or I have legal authorization to. I, shout out anyway. Because I'm a poor, broke Negro who's been eating ramen my whole life, so I think out of anyone, I have the right to, acknowledge them. And they're getting free advertising, so. Anyway. Lowe's is out of hand. It's completely hilarious. Sometimes annoying, sometimes boring as fuck. Sometimes I'm like, why did I have this job? I mean, I know why, but there's more to life. I'm better than this. It's out of hand. Out of hand. Another thing that's out of hand, and not just talking about my segues, But it's time for, one of your favorite editions of the Kaleb podcast, besides me ridiculing white women and talking about sports that you guys probably don't even watch, and just random shit, huge, my Trump impressions and all that hoopla. It's Kaleb's What to Watch. I don't even know who that guy is. Who does that? But Kaleb's What to Watch for this week, for this month. This shit's out of hand. It's this fucking tablet, man. They both got the same poor ass tablet. Smashy Road? What is this? I'm fucking watching PewDiePie shit. How do I just turn this nonsense off? But yeah, Kaleb's What to Watch. I know you guys have to have heard of this shit, but the show Empire on Fox. Dear God, I don't know why I haven't talked about this shit before. But the coonery that ensues on that show is just completely out of hand. That's why I continue to watch it. It's so speaking up, my bit is bad and bullshit. That shit is so out of hand. How it displays niggas, bruh. Even though niggas made it. Lee Daniels is like the producer or some shit. He's acclaimed for stuff, and the show is just so out of hand, so ridiculous, so over the top, dramatic. It is a black soap opera, pretty much, with corny ass bubblegum rap music. All this shit's whack as shit, corny as fuck. It's so out of hand, man. Y'all just need to watch the coonery. I can't even. Everything about it. About them being, thugs and shit, but still have millions of dollars and shit, $1 million homes and shit, still living a lifestyle. Pretty much how niggas do nowadays, Like you're no longer in the hood. You're in a mansion now, have money, but you still act like you selling dope and shooting guns and shit. It's out of hand. Only, but that they're actually doing it in the Empire. But once again, it's a fucking show, so it's so unbelievable and so, so out of hand. Everything about it, man. I could go on and on about every storyline. One day, the family's all together, kumbaya. The next day, someone's feuding with someone in the family. All this nonsense. It's completely out of hand. Don't know why I watch it. It's a guilty pleasure, because it's just so absurd. It's funny as fuck. As is every show that I watch. Hoarders. I watched Hoarders again. That just reiterated the hilarity in that show. Yeah. That's out of hand, man. Out of hand. Out of hand. It's out of hand, people. You know what's not out of hand, though? Good rap. Speaking of, coonery and good and all that shit. Good, actual, talented rap. Obviously, I know about that King Kendrick album that came out. We had a lot of good albums that came out throughout my absence. K-Dot's Project, Damn. Pretty good. I don't think it's as good as To Pimp a Butterfly, obviously. This was a little bit more mainstream sounding. This is what God feel like, and all that shit. I'm playing with a goddamn Easter egg. That's another thing that happened. Easter, Jesus came back, and he told me these bitches ain't shit. So yeah, but yeah, Kendrick's album was good and all. It was good to great. It's not as great as To Pimp a Butterfly, but it's still better than all this other shit. Freddie Gibbs also came out with a good little project. You might not be familiar with him. But if you like real rap, look it up. Joey Badass, obviously. Great album, very political. And, it could get tiring just a little bit. He didn't really over-exaggerate the Trump shit as I thought he would be. He definitely mentioned it. Sometimes it gets annoying. Like, come on now, this is a damn puppet show. You guys are getting mad over a damn puppet. Bitch. I don't waste my time. Y'all know how I feel about that. The people posting Facebook like, what is this gonna change? And also, low-key, I was thinking about it, and it kind of dates the music. Because 10 years from now, are we still gonna be screaming fuck Trump? Like, no one's gonna care. Life will go on. None of you will be deported, or nothing's gonna happen to y'all. No, there's no wall. I don't think he's gonna make it too big of an impact. Either way, negative or positive, to where we're going to be talking about him. Like, the only reason why we talk about Bill still is because he's a fucking meme now, guy's dick sucked. That's the highlight of his presidency. Obama was black, that was the highlight of his presidency, being a nigga. Bush being dumb as fuck. But, once again, even he was a character, funny. George, like Trump, yitch, back there. Pretty much the same person, really. Obviously different, personalities to the extreme, but the same concept, rich white Republican who has a funny voice and, funny impersonations to do. And then, George Bush's dad, I mean, no one even talks about him. Of course, not many of us were alive, for him. But still, who cares? They're all fucking puppets. But yeah, nevertheless, his perspective, badass does. And the bars are always going to be there, so it's good. And then we go to my light-skinned brother last week, who dropped a project. Last Friday, actually. Logic, everybody. It was a good album. My first listen, I was very disappointed. Because the lyrics, the bars, like I said, bars. That's my favorite bars. That's my favorite thing about rap is the lyrics itself, not the beat, that beat go hard though, even though musically, sonically, it was, it's a good album, great album, musically. But the bars, the lyricism wasn't really there. He didn't get too deep into things that he was talking about. He talked about, once again, being mixed, as I do. A lot, not as much as people like to overstate it and complain about it, but he definitely brought it up. He also literally talked about his situation more than anything, not more than anything, but a lot in the project, which I didn't really like. Once again, I want you to articulate it into rapping, bro. You can rap this. You don't just preaching and shit. He had Killer Mike preaching to, not even I need Killer Mike. If you won't feature Killer Mike, I need those bars. What the fuck is wrong with you? How dare you tease me, Killer Mike being a preacher, pretty much, and then J. Cole at the end giving a little bar here and there. But once again, why are you? If you have J. Cole on your album, you can't have a song with him spitting bars back and forth or doing some shit like that. I don't get it. He had Neil deGrasse Tyson on it. It was cool and all. It had a little storyline. Skits, cool and all, but I want that real raw lyricism that I know Logic can have. And for me, it was good. It was a good project. Slightly disappointed, and it's definitely not my favorite project. Not as better as his past two albums at all. And better than his mixtape, obviously. Bobby Tarantino, that shit. Very watered down Logic. I like some songs here and there. But, come on. I need that bars Logic. Motherfuckers, also, enough that I want to spread a light on. About him talking about he's being mixed and on. About, for some reason, us mixed niggas, once again, I know you don't want to hear the light skin struggle, but we can't talk about our race, but everyone else can. I don't get that at all. Especially with us, because since we have two races, we know two sides of the story, so we could portray the fucking picture, I would say, better than most people. So, what are you saying you can't relate? What? The whole thing about being mixed is you're both black and white, so you would think mixed, both sides, at least of that aspect. I know there's obviously other races and shit, but you could somewhat relate to it, especially him, being in the struggle, growing up in the hood, being poor. A lot of people can relate to that, not just niggas, but, just anyone in poverty or some shit like that. Anyway, there's a story he tells. I don't know how that's such a broad and thing that people can't relate to or get or comprehend. Even if you don't get it. Well, not even that. Even if you don't relate to it. That's why I think. Even if you don't relate to it, how you don't get it or comprehend it. It's not that hard of an aspect being biracial. And, once again, being too black for one side, too white for the other. It's just annoying. I gotta reiterate it damn near every day of my life, pretty much. That's what it seems like. So it seems like for mixed people, and that's just how it is. But, we can't have that. How dare us? I don't know. It's a bunch of hoopla ensuing. This has been the longest edition of the podcast, and I did it for a reason, because I've been gone for a fucking month. I stride for about 40 minutes to an hour. I'm going on to 50. This has been very good coming back. I feel great. I feel good. I feel dabbing. And I'll tell you what, I finally know what I'm getting a schedule. He's getting a schedule in life. He has a job now. He has plans, somewhat. He's back to clowning, and it's huge. I don't know what he's gonna do next, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna be funny. He's gonna be clowning. He's gonna be cooning and doing all the stuff all those niggas do, because he's light skinned. In case you forgot, he's gonna tell you he's mixed 1,000 times. But yeah, as always, here, King Kaleb here. Episode 35. I don't know when the next time you'll hear me, because like I said, I'm going to be working 8 fucking days in a row. When am I off? I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so you'll hear me either Monday or Tuesday again, talking about some nonsense. I'm going to put this up on a Thursday. Some Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, probably Wednesday. You'll hear it next. You'll hear something next week, definitely. But 8 days in a row working. Who else has done that? Please, the 2 people that listen to my shit, comment, tell me, hit me up. Tell me what's the longest you've worked consecutively? Because this shit, I don't know. I don't know if I'm mentally ready for this shit. I might either quit or get fired in that time. Anyway, as always, like, subscribe, share, tweet, Farmers Only Black Meat, all that nonsense that people on YouTube complain and stress to you about. I don't give a fuck. Just listen to my shit and tell people that this light-skinned nigga's a clown and he's, talking his nonsense and shit. Dripping on whores, thotting it up. Fuck him. Saucing, what else? Dabbing, swagging, Harambe. I haven't said that in a while. We're almost at the 1-year anniversary of Harambe dying, people. It seems like just yesterday a little Negro jumped into the exhibit and white people were outraged. But be prepared for that. We're going to be clowning on the 1-year anniversary of Harambe. As always, this has been King Kaleb here, signing the fuck out.